So hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today is Friday, September 20th, and today guess what we're doing? We're reviewing a laser engraver. This is a fantastic way to personalize your bee boxes and all of your wooden ware. I'm going to show you some samples at the very end, but we're going to review this piece of equipment that I purchased full price from Amazon. This company is a Chinese company. This is inexpensive. I looked at a lot of laser engravers because I decided, wouldn't it be cool if I could just set something up and personalize my bee boxes, my hive visors, feeder shims, and everything else without having to sit at the kitchen table for hours doing pyrography. So that sent me on a quest. I started looking at laser engravers, and in particular those that would burn into wood, and there's a wide range of gear. This one's inexpensive. It's under $300. I was really impressed by that, and there were a couple of choices here. They had power levels that were different, so I picked the one that had the highest power level. This thing is just lasering the wood. It's burning it, and the wood particles are vaporizing and going out the window. The one reason that I really like this unit is because it doesn't have to connect to my computer. See this little connector that's out of focus there? You're supposed to hook it up to your computer, then a screen comes up, you're supposed to download their software. This is a Chinese company that made this. Their instructions are very Spartan. So I decided I would tie in a tutorial here and show you how to use the equipment. Now they have a mode where you plug it into your computer, download the software, and use your laptop or whatever to do this. Or you can do it on its own, transfer the data to a thumb drive that they include, and go ahead and make your own. You can see there's a lot of logos and stuff that come preloaded on this thing. That doesn't meet with copyright law, so I would not recommend just using established logos. Now the thing puts together very easily. There's only 4 parts, and that's good because the instructions again are very poorly put together. You can also focus the laser. See that little turn plastic nylon piece right there that houses the laser lens? And then they include a stylus so that you can use the little touch screen that comes on the unit. So it's standalone. You don't need to connect this to your computer. But I am going to show you in this video how to prepare an image to use on this wood burner, this laser. And you control the power of the laser on the top line there. It's at 35. And you control the depth of cut at the bottom there. So I have it all the way down to number 4. This thing will just about burn a hole in a piece of pine if you put it on maximum depth. This is the AC adapter that comes with it, and I plug that into a surge protector. I want to protect the unit. Also, there's no on-off switch that comes with the laser engraver, so use the on-off switch on your surge protector. This is the whole thing. Would sit right on your kitchen counter, kitchen table, but here's what I recommend. I recommend that you put this thing right next to a window, because that's where it is here. It's on my drafting table. It's upstairs. It's next to a window with a screen. And don't forget to wear the glasses that they provide. Now these glasses are kind of, I don't know, they're just a dark green sunglass material. But you have to protect your eyes. And of course they include tools with it. You're going to need your own Phillips screwdriver, because this little Phillips screwdriver thing that comes with it doesn't even fit the screws that they included. There is a little Allen wrench also that does fit, thank goodness, but you're going to need your own screwdriver. So, and it has the 4 bottom pieces that go together. There are screws for that, 4 each, and there's 4 screws here for the main traveling arm, and that uses the hex wrench. So again, even without instructions, you can put this thing right together very easily, and everything else comes pre-assembled, so you don't have to be some kind of tech genius to put this up. Plus, I like that it's only connected at one axis there, and they're aluminum extruded material that's nice and rigid. This thing doesn't have any play in it. Here's the feet that support it, and of course your piece of work goes right under that, and because it's bridged up like that, you can put a really long piece of wood in here and burn your logo. For example, this is one of my hive visors, and this is on a piece of cedar. So that's very soft wood, and it burned in nice and deep, nice and clean. And here's a close-up of the warning label on the laser. Of course, don't look at the laser. It says what the wavelength is, that it's a class 4 laser product, and that it complies with a code of federal regulations. Now, this little nylon turn screw lets you focus the laser down to a flat surface under it up to something that's 3 inches thick. Now look at the dirt that's in the little fan here. You're going to want to get yourself a canned air unit so you can puff out that dust every now and again. It did generate piles of dust, which is why you want it vented. Now let's get into how to set up your image for burning. So I'm going into my computer here. I'm using Photoshop. This is one of my photos of a honeybee on a landing board. Of course, it's a nice close picture. I'm going to open it up with Photoshop, of course. And there it is. That is the most awesome macro photo of a honeybee on a landing board that was ever taken on Earth, or in the universe for that matter. Now let's move on. So we're going to do some adjustments to it. First, we have to change it to black and white. There you go. And then a little screen comes up that lets us adjust yellows, reds, greens, blues. What you want to do is create a contrast. We're etching wood, remember? You can put this on other materials too, but I'm only testing it on wood. I'm only going to use it on wood. And once I get the contrast where I want it, I get out of that. And now, of course, we're going to make brightness and contrast adjustments, which most image editing programs have. So brightness and contrast at a minimum is what you would do. And it also has a very specific format we have to save it in. So we're going to do that too. So now I've got my little bee, little worker bee image there. And I need to change the file format, right? So we'll click Save As, and then I'll pick the folder. I'm putting it on the little USB that they provided. Now I made my own copy of it just in case theirs goes bad. And they have these folders in there. Go to the picture folder. Click on that. Look up at the top. There's another little folder marked BMP. That's where you want to save your images that you've altered, and BMP just stands for bitmap, and that is a black and white format that saves a lot of data. Then we have to change it. Instead of JPEG, we're going to pick bitmap in the format saving here, and we're going to select that. There it is, BMP. And another thing I want to do is I want to change the name of the file so that when it comes up on that little USB drive, I know what I'm looking at. So here we go. Let's get rid of that, and we'll type in best bee photo ever. I'm sure you agree with me. I know you probably got, you got all excited when you saw how amazing the picture was. Plus I put .bmp at the end just for kicks. Now you got bit depth choices. Here's what I found out it does best, 24-bit, and this is a Windows system. So we're going to save that format, bitmap, 24-bit. And there it is. Now we have to do something else to personalize it. You better put your name on that. So we're going to pull up the text here, and I'm going to write my name on there, and of course the date. I want to know what year this piece of woodenware was put into service, so I want to see how long it lasts. You can put this on all your hive parts. By the way, do your hive parts before you put them together. So if you get bee boxes, if you've got flow hives, whatever you have, save the panels out first and do your wood burning or customizing on that. And then I also added best bee photo ever 2 so that I would have one with text and one without, and then we're going to save that. Now we're going to burn it on this. This is actually the end of a Flow Hive 2 cedar box. So we're going to put that on there. Stick your USB in. We do all this before we turn it on, and before you turn this thing on, make sure you put on those safety glasses too, because guess what? The laser comes on whenever you turn it on. So there's no intermediate thing. Protect your eyes at every opportunity. Then it has a little warm-up thing it goes through. It moves through its entire range of motion here. And in the video description, I'll give you a link to this laser burner. I'll also give you some more information about the parameters as to how large a piece it can burn. But let me tell you, if you start to burn an image on here that's like 10 inches by 10 inches or 12 inches by 12 inches, which it seems to be able to do, that's going to take about 4 hours. So I try to keep these small. I think the biggest one I burned was 6 by 6. And so you just clip on your little file folder there, and then you go down the line. Of course, it's preloaded with all the stuff they have provided for testing if you don't have art on your own. And then it comes up, that's one of theirs that they provided. Not what I want to use, but it's just showing what they've already included if you wanted to test the system. But you definitely want to use your own photos, get your own photos, make your own photos. Maybe you've got a drawing function on your tablet or your laptop. Anyway, we're going to pull it up. It's loading there at the bottom. And then we're going to make some adjustments. By the way, I have it in the black and white mode. That turned out to be the best mode. It's a high contrast mode. If you go to grayscale, for example, it would fill in that entire square. And it's really not sensitive enough to do a grayscale image if you're doing something really soft like cedar or pine. But if I had a block of maple or something like that, I might try that out. Just for demo purposes though, we're going to leave it on black and white. And I'm going to adjust the laser power here. 66. Now by the way, when I change the laser power, it does make it darker, and but it creates a kind of cloudy image. The other thing is 33 is really deep. You're going to find out. It's going to burn a hole in it. So later on I discovered that about 10 is a good setting for the depth, which is that bottom line, and I like to leave the laser at about 60 to 70%. Now it starts burning. It also gives a little counter there, 2% for example. And by the way, if it starts burning in a spot that you don't want it, right away when it starts out, that's the time to reposition your piece, because I found that that little button in the middle there, the circle that looks like a bullseye with the crosshairs in it, that really does not center it up before it starts burning like it's supposed to. So I don't know what's going on there. Maybe you get better results if you do connect it to your laptop or something. I did not do that. Again, I just want it to be a standalone piece. Generates a lot of smoke as it goes. You can see that coming up there. And also, you can adjust the parameters while it's burning. So if you decide you want the laser to be stronger, you want the depth to be deeper or lighter, and so on, you can just get your stylus out and adjust those sliders as you go. The other thing is I put up a piece of card there, so it'll block the laser from view. Even with sunglasses, I don't trust it. Now look how it really burned a deep image into this piece of cedar. So obviously my depth was too strong, maybe my laser was too high. You can fool around with it as you go. In fact, I recommend that you take a test piece and start to burn your image and then just make adjustments as it goes through to see what gives you the best image. This is my Victorian image of a girl holding flowers, which of course didn't come out in great detail, but it still makes an interesting piece. The other thing I probably want to caution you about is where you get your images to use. You want to get them from free sources, something that's really old and does not have a copyright on it. Don't just grab somebody's logo and use it. And you can do your own sketches and scan them in on your computer scanner, your printer scanner, something like that. It'll accept anything, but of course you're going to have to convert it to a BMP. So this is like from 1890, and I just took that as an example for demonstration. It is going to be on a B box. And of course you can seal them up with clear finish, whatever you want to do when you get outside. But this helps identify your B boxes and B equipment. If somebody stole it, let's say they even painted over it. This thing is burned an image with the laser so deep into the wood that it's even going to show through paint. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you want one, look in the video description. Here are some samples of the work I've done. Have a great weekend.